This is firmly entrenched. We're with Iowa Everywhere, and we're joined by NFL Hall of Fame linebacker for the Chicago Bears, New Mexico Lobo
Yes.
alum, Brian
You
Urlacher.
wanted to say New Mexico State there, didn't you?
I didn't.
I feel like you wanted to say state. Some guy
No.
said that earlier, almost got in a wrestling match.
Would you have beat him?
No. I wouldn't have. It's not that big of a deal, but, we got to let it known. Lobos, not Aggies.
So Brian is here with Circa Sports. Their
Yes.
grand opening here in Illinois. Super cool event. How's the day been so far?
Been good. Got to meet a lot of cool people here, a bunch of Bears fans, but this is a nice facility. It's temporary, obviously, but the new one I heard is going to be unreal. If anyone's been to the Circa Casino in Vegas, they've seen their sports book. It's unbelievable. This one's not quite there yet, but I was told when they get done, it'll be just like that.
Speaking of Vegas, how weird is it that there's an NFL team there now? Could you have dreamed that when you were playing?
That'd have been great, wouldn't it? Going to Vegas for the weekend, staying there. That'd have been dangerous playing in Vegas. But, yeah, it's different. So many teams are moving. There's all the changing their names and everything. It's hard to keep up with the teams. But I guess now I'm just used to calling them the Vegas Raiders because all my friends call them the Vegas Raiders, so I'm just used to it, I guess.
So your team, the Bears,
Yeah.
what has this year, maybe these last couple of years, been like for you?
It has been rough. Since since the Bears fired Lovey in 2012, we're on our fourth coaching staff in 11 years. Lovey won 10 games his last year, and he got fired. I'm just not sure what the expectations are, but it's been tough to watch. The Bears are struggling right now.
Could you get out there at linebacker
No,
right now?
I could definitely. I could get out there. I wouldn't do anything, but I could be out there standing around, pulling muscles, trying to run. But it's not that. It's just they just can't get in the groove and get over the hump to win some of these games.
So Justin Fields, you're obviously a linebacker, but from your point of view, playing on the opposite side of the ball, what do you see from Fields?
Well, the closest thing I can compare him to is Michael Vick. Michael was a great runner, but Michael could also throw the football. Michael had a cannon for an arm. I think if you make him beat you with his arm, you're going to have a chance to beat him. I think you've seen teams do that this year. He hasn't ran as much. They've made him throw the football, and they've done a good job on defense against him.
So we're Iowa State people. Brock Purdy.
Gotcha. Purdy's the man. So Brock Purdy went to Perry High School in Arizona. My son goes to Chandler High School. They're in the same district. So we play them in 2 weeks, his former high school.
So
he's bad.
How
That's good.
How long have you watched Purdy play, I guess, dating back to his Arizona days?
So I didn't see him play in high school. My son is a little bit behind him, but I watched him. Iowa State, obviously, he was great. And in the NFL, it's unbelievable how good he is. Right when he got into the start, there was no drop-off. They kept going the same direction, and this year it just keeps going. He makes it look easy. It's not that easy, but he makes it look easy. I'm sure Coach Shanahan helps that situation, but the kid can throw the football.
One quarterback that always made it look easy, that maybe didn't get enough credit, was your teammate Jay Cutler. How's Jay doing these days?
I don't talk to him that much. I see him on Instagram every once in a while, but it seems like he's doing pretty well. Everything I hear, it seems like I know he's got a podcast. I was on there with him a while back, but everything I hear, he's doing pretty great.
And you were his teammate for a long time. How underrated?
Years, 2 or 3 years.
How underrated was he as a quarterback?
Jay could make any throw on the football field. That dude had a great arm, and when he was with us, it was before the quarterbacks were expected to run. Now they're all expected to run a little bit, and Jay could have done all that. He was athletic. He could throw it. The one thing people don't give Jay enough credit for is how tough he was. He played hurt. He played with a broken thumb the second half of the San Diego game one year. He came in, got surgery, missed the rest of the season, and then gets hurt against the Packers in the NFC Championship one year too, and misses the rest of the season too. But obviously it was our last game of the year. But yeah, the dude was a good football player, tough guy.
So Aiden and I are never going to dream about playing in the NFL. That passed a long time ago.
Window closed?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I just picture what it would be like to be tackled by a guy like you. How hard, or who was the player that you hit the hardest once?
Hit the hardest? Ooh, man, that's or maybe you got hit by.
How about both?
Yeah, 8th grade. I'm returning a punt, and this dude, that was the hardest I've ever been hit, was in 8th grade, by the way. Dude just knocked my block off. But my rookie year, we're playing the Colts, and E.G. Green's running a crosser, and Peyton kind of leads him a little bit. And this is back when you could hit. So I put my helmet under his chin, and he did a somersault thing. Guess what he did after the play? He got up and jogged back to the huddle. So it must not have been as good as I thought it was. But, yeah, there's probably 2 or 3 a game, though, not with receivers but with linemen that are really good. And usually I'm on the wrong end of that one.
Yeah, I mean, you made a living off of just destroying people. How frustrating can it be watching some of the calls they make these days?
You know what drives me crazy is a guy gets called for roughing the passer on a sack. The guy's got the ball in his hands. He's not protected because he's still throwing the football. You know what drives me crazy is college football, the targeting rule. Throw the kid out of the game, then he misses half of the next game. I can't stand that. It's just not fair. But what do you do? I understand the game. They want to make the game safer. I understand that. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but I get it.
Well, Aiden, he's a diehard Bears fan. You got one last question for Brian?
Less of a question. I just want to express my gratitude for everything you did. You, Jay, Lovey.
Thank you.
Those are my
Jay
teams.
Jay was awesome. Lovey changed the course of the Bears franchise. Those 9 years he was there were awesome. You think when you saw the drop off when he left, right? Ever since he left, it's kind of been awesome. Actually, I should say Nagy did a good job. Nagy went to the playoffs 2 out of 4 years, and he got canned. So I just, it's tough. It's tough.
One hypothetical for you.
Let me hear it.
So I'm not calling for anyone's job here or anything like that. But let's say the Bears decide to move on from Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
Middle of the season. And they call you up, a la Jeff Saturday, off the streets.
Yeah.
Would you take the job?
There's a really good chance that I would not take that job.
All right.
Where's Jeff Saturday now?
Not coaching.
Okay, there you go. So I don't think you want to be a fill-in guy for half the season for your first job. I do think there's some talent in football. I don't think it's Eberflus's fault at all. There's been a lot of things going on around this organization for a couple of years now, and obviously we're on our 4th staff in 11 years, so I don't think it's him. I think there's some other things going on, but hopefully they don't get rid of him during season. That's not the way the Bears do business, though. I don't see it happening. At least I hope it doesn't happen.
I'm with you.
I just don't think it's it's not his fault. I know the media's after him and all that stuff, but I just don't think you can just blame it on one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess I just thought of this. Players jump around teams more now than they used to. And
yes.
If you could come back right now, like in your prime form, what coach would you most want to play for that you didn't get to play for?
That's a good question. Man, I was just watching the other day. There's so many good coaches in the NFL right now. That's a good question. Let me think about this one, okay? Dan Campbell.
Ooh.
That dude's awesome. That dude is unbelievable. That's who I'd want to play for. I feel like his players respect him. He gets a lot out of him, but he's a dude that I'd like to play for. Tomlin's a man, too. Tomlin in Pittsburgh is awesome. McCarthy in Dallas. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a bunch of good coaches, but Dan Campbell seems like a guy I could play for.
Do you believe that he actually drinks that much coffee? Have you seen that?
That's not true.
There's no way it's true,
There's no way that's true. I read one of my buddies said that to me the other day. I was dying laughing. But the coffee part may be true, but the other stuff is funny.
Well, Brian, do you have any questions for us? Or else we'll let you
let me see. You guys graduated from Iowa State? Or just Iowa State
last
fans?
semester.
Last semester. Okay.
I grew up an Iowa State fan. I graduated from Simpson College.
Simpson. That's
Division III.
Where is Simpson?
It's in Indianola.
And that's in Iowa?
Yeah, that's like 30 minutes south of Des Moines.
Sorry, you said it like I should know where it is. I was actually in Des Moines 2 years ago at a Drake football game.
Nice.
My daughter's boyfriend at the time was playing at Drake, so we went and watched them play when their fall schedule got canceled, so they played their games.
Yeah.
Nice. Des Moines is a nice place.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Most of Iowa was pretty darn nice.
They need to put that on a billboard. Brian Urlacher said it's a nice place.
Des Moines is nice. I think all of Iowa was pretty damn nice. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Well,
Thanks,
Brian,
guys.
I think that's all we got for you.
Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for the time.
Nice talking to you, Aiden. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good talk.